Okay, guys, welcome to this training. This is a very brief training. This is about the distress level. Okay, in this training, I'm going to teach you how to improve the quality of your leads and the quality of your production. As you are already told, you're going to get paid on the quality of the leads that you produce. And if you make quality leads, you're going to get paid more than if you made average leads. So I'm going to teach you how to recognize a quality lead with these exercises. Okay. There are four things that we're going to learn in this one. The first one, some general notions about what works for who, the types of the stress, what are the types of the stress, the lead temperature, and some conclusions that we're going to reach at the end of this. Now, what works for who? This is a very interesting question, okay? What works for who? Um, as you can tell, okay, there are five different types of investors. Okay, we work for five different types of investors. We have the investors. They buy properties regarding condition. Okay, they usually do it with their money. They buy the properties. They wait for the properties to reach a certain price, and then they resell it. Okay, they make a profit by letting the property gain some more money on the market. The cash offer buys properties cash under the market value. He's the guy that tells you, okay, I don't care what the condition of the house is. This house is $150,000. I'm gonna give you 100,000, but fully cash. I will pay all the closing costs. I will pay everything, but I'm gonna give you full cash. The broker, they buy properties regarding condition for investing. Regarding the condition for investing, they are backed by investors. Okay, an investor invests their own money. A broker invests investors' money. Okay, though these investors not necessarily are real estate investors. There might be just people that have the money floating around and they contact a real estate broker. A realtor. The realtors are more interested in having the property listed than buying it themselves. Okay, a realtor doesn't care if the property is in good condition or in bad condition. The only thing they want is to sell the property with them. Okay, to list the property themselves. And the flippers buy properties that are in poor shape and that need to be remodeled. They remodel the properties and resell them for a profit. These are these five types of investors. All of these investors have different needs. That's why the questions of the script are like that, okay? Because based on each question that you get answered, we can send that lead to any of these guys, okay? One thing that you need to know about this campaign is that even though they are all different, as you can see here, okay, they're all different, they all have something in common. They want to pay 350,000 and below. Okay, 350,000 and below. That's how much they're willing to pay. So have those things in mind. If they tell you that the property is 600,000, that probably is not going to be a good lead. If they tell you that that property is 300,000, that is a good lead. And if, for example, if they tell you that they want to sell the property for 350,000, that's right on the spot. But then you check and the property's real market value is 450,000. That's even better. That's even better. Okay, so 350,000 and below. I'm not saying that over 350,000 is not going to work, but it might be difficult to work. If you have a lead that is a little bit under over 350,000, doesn't matter. Just close the lead. Check if the estimates are within that range or below that range. That's a great lead. If they're over that range, if the estimates are over that range, that's a good deal, a good lead. If the estimates are below that range, it's not going to be a good deal. Okay? Why? Because I want to sell the property on the 350, but the estimate said 200,000, 150,000 market. That doesn't work. If, on the other hand, they have the properties, the real estimate of the property is 700,000, and they want to sell 350,000 or 450,000, that's still a great lead. Even it's a little bit further, than the proper price, it's still a good deal. Okay. Now, let's review the three levels of distress. Okay. First of all, we have the condition distress. Second, we have the financial distress, and third, we have the situational distress. The condition distress is based on the real condition of the house. Okay, we want to know the general and true condition of the house. Um, we want to know the number of we want to know the number of beds, bathrooms, yes, but we also want to know what type of condition the home is. If they made any updates on bathroom, what condition the roof is, all of those things. We want to know if they will sell the property because the house is in bad shape. Okay, if the house is in bad shape, that could easily go to an investor, or to a cash offer. Okay, just to give you an idea. So condition is very important. Condition, if the house is in poor condition, that can increase the opportunities of closing the lead. Financial distress, we need to get, or we need to find people that can afford to pay their mortgage, people that need the money for debts, people that have financial situations. Those are motivationals of selling. Okay, if you have someone that is desperately for the money because they need cash for anything, that's a financial distress. Perhaps they need to pay the bank, perhaps they are in debt, but they need the cash quickly. That sort of thing can improve the quality of that lead, because by knowing that, we can know that, okay, this guy really wants to sell, and we need to connect him with the investor because he's in a financial situation, and he might be needing to sell the house quickly. And the situational distress doesn't necessarily mean money problems. Situational distress, uh, the situational distress is usually about, if they might need to sell the property for a reason outside money, perhaps a new job or opportunity, an inherited state, maybe a divorce, family situation. That's a situational distress. If they want to sell because of that, that's good. That means that they might have a timeline. Okay, now let's give you a quick review. Condition distress, financial distress, and situational distress. Those are the three levels of distress that we have to know. Condition, we want to know the general condition of the house. Financial, we want to know if they have money problems. And situational, we want to know if there might be a situation outside the two previous that might be influencing their necessity of selling a house. Okay? Now, let's get the temperature of the lead. Okay, because based on all of this, we can get to know what's the proper temperature of a lead. We have cold, warm, and hot. A cold lead wants to sell in 6 months or more. If they tell you, I'm gonna sell next year, that's still a lead, a cold lead, but that's a lead. If something like that happens to you, you need to tell them, okay, and is it okay if I ask you some questions? No, but I'm going to sell in a year. And yes, sir, don't worry, we'll make sure to give you a call back in a year. Okay, but I just at the moment I just want to know the general condition of the house. Okay, can I ask you a few questions? Yes, and you go on. 6 months or more. That's a cold lead. Warm lead. They want to sell between 2 to 5 months. When would you be ready to sell? I will be ready to sell in 3 months because I need a place to stay. That's a warm lead. Okay, and a hot lead wants to sell in a month or less. Not everyone is a hot lead, because you're going to get customers that tell you, when would you be ready to sell? I could sell tomorrow, today, if you have the money today. The best way to recognize a hot lead is if they have a reason, if the timeline is within a month or less, and they sound interested in selling the house in a month or less. Because we might have people that might not be that interested in doing that, but they will tell you, I could sell it right away. They could sell it tomorrow. That's not a hot lead. Okay? So remember, it's not only the time frame. Okay? There is also the thing about the how willing the person sounds to sell that property. Okay? Now, based on all of this, what do we know now? Okay? Based on the information that we can get, we can have an idea of how good our lead was. A lead that provides you lots of information could increase the quality of the lead. Okay? By knowing what are the things you need to look for, you'll know what you have to ask. There are many things, many examples that I can give you. For example, a lead that wants to sell because, let's put this example, okay? Perhaps we're having a lead that wants to sell, that has two properties, but wants to sell one because their mortgage is overdue. The property has problems that are not worthy fix, and the owner needs to get rid of the property to be able to move somewhere else. That's an example of a lead that has three different distress levels, okay? Because it has the three at the same time. That was also something. The distress levels, all of these can happen at the same time, okay? We can have a condition distress over here. We can have a condition distress. We can have financial distress. We can have them both. We can have them separate, or we can have them all, okay? Now, this is all for now. This is just part of the video. We're going to give you a brief explanation of this in a moment in the next training. Okay, so if you have any questions regarding this, please don't hesitate me asking me those questions when we get in our meeting. Okay, I hope you have enjoyed this. I hope you have learned this. Please take your notes here and you have a blessed day. Goodbye.